Hey all, Bridget Bartlett here with Vision Marketing and Design, and today we are live inside of our team training where we are live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So today what I'm going to show you how to do is to create a webinar, and we're going to create a funnel for a webinar, the whole automation system, and we're also going to create a trigger link so that when we create the funnel so that new people can sign up into our list and register for the webinar, we also want to send out an email to our existing list and have them register for the webinar. But using a trigger link will allow them to just click the button inside of the email and then it will register them for the webinar. Okay, so this is a super cool setup and it's actually really simple to do. I'm going to walk you through the process today. So the first thing we need to do is actually create our funnel. So in the Sites tab here, oh, before I get started, if you are not a member yet, you can click the link in the description and register for HighLevel as a reseller or the free training. So what I'm going to do is click here to create a new funnel. Now, if you are an agency owner, you have the access to the template library that is not yet available to sub-accounts of our agencies yet, but it will soon be available for us as agency owners to toggle on or off if we want our members to have access. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose from the template library. I'm going to type in webinar because I just want to choose one that's already created. I'm going to go ahead and select this one here. If I did want to have this customized for me, I could actually hire from the marketplace to do this directly inside. So if I was setting up a client's account, that's really helpful. So now I need to search for this webinar template. So I'm going to choose the project management webinar template here. And we have the main page created, but we actually need to create like a simple thank you for registering page. So I'm just going to say thank you. And I'm going to create the path, which is going to be thank you, and create the funnel. Okay, so now we're just going to create this from blank. And here we're just going to say, we'll keep it very simple, but of course you can, you can make this really fancy if you want to. But for the sake of training, we'll just say thank you for registering. And then maybe we want to add some info about the webinar or maybe, other offers or things like that. Okay, so let's just say thank you for registering. And now let's go back here to our main funnel. Okay, so now we have the home page where we're going to share with them so that they can register. So if we're running paid ads or we're doing content creation or adding it to a blog and we want people to register to get into our list, they're going to fill out the home page here. Now, before we go into the home page, what I need to do is actually create a form and then we want to connect the form to our website. So while that's actually just spinning because I'm live. So let's go ahead and create a form. And this form is going to be called webinar registration. And we will just keep this here because we're actually just going to use the funnel to, I'll show you that in just a second. But here you can choose what do you want to happen when you submit. Do we want to send them to a URL or do we want to add a message? I mean, technically you could just add a message, but since we're doing the trigger link, we need to send them somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave this blank and then we'll choose that inside of the funnel. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to add a first name. I need to add an email. I mean, you can add any of these things that you want to. We'll go ahead and add a button here. I like to make my button full width, and let's just say register. Okay, register. All right, now let's go ahead and save this. Let's just say this is the form that we want and we love it. Now I am going to go back to my website and I'm going to choose webinar. Let's go ahead and grab our funnel again. We're going to choose project management. And then let's go ahead and open up our website. So you'll see on here, there are a few buttons. There's one call to action here, and you can see join the live webinar. Obviously, you'd want to edit this, but what we want to do is make sure that all the call to action buttons, we're just going to have them open a pop-up. Okay, so this one will open a pop-up. And let's scroll down here if we see any buttons. Okay, there's another button, and we're going to open a pop-up. All right, let's go ahead and save. And now let's go to the pop-up. Now we need to edit this, so we need to make sure that we put our form. So again, I'm just breezing through this quickly. You guys can design this and set this up however you want to. But I want to show you the process, okay? So now we have our form, and like I said, we can choose here now where to redirect. Now, what's cool about this option here is if we wanted to use the same form for multiple different funnels, we could, in the form settings, leave it blank like we did, and then inside of each funnel, we can choose where we want them to send, even if we're using the same form, okay? A lot of website builders don't have that option, so that's really cool. So now we can choose the next step, and the next step is our thank you page, okay? So you can see that here. This is the next step. All right, so we're going to choose the thank you page, and we're just going to go ahead and click save. So now when someone, and if I show you here, this is like our live preview of the website, and if someone clicks there to register, they're going to enter the info into the form, okay? Now, that form, the info goes here into our contacts, okay? But we want to set other automations because we want to send them reminders, and what's really cool within HighLevel, you can send ringless voicemails, you can send text messages, emails, Google My Business, you can send lots of notifications, right? But let's go ahead and create a new workflow, and you can actually see if you scroll down here to the bottom, it says webinar registration, confirmation, and reminders. So the recipe is already built for us, so we're just going to go ahead and choose that and click create. Now you'll see here that this workflow is triggered by two different things. We have our trigger link, which we're going to create, and maybe I should have created it before I start this. And then we have our form. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's save this. Okay, it's saved. I'm going to get out of here. Let's go create our trigger link. Okay, so to do that, what we need to do is grab the link to the thank you page. So I'm going to go ahead and search for my webinar, and it's this one here. And I'm just going to open this up, and we don't have a domain connected, but I'm just going to grab the link to that thank you page anyway. Now let's go back to automations, and you'll see up here we have our triggers. So I want to create a new trigger, and this is going to be the thank you for registering. Okay. Oh, actually, I think I'm creating a folder. Add trigger. Oh, I guess we're adding it to stages here. Wait, I think this is the wrong triggers. I'm so sorry, you guys. Trigger links. Okay, so let me clear this up though. These are actually features that are going away. I'm using my demo account and it's still enabled here, even though it's a legacy thing. So anything that you have here can actually be built into the workflows. These actually should not be here, okay? So sorry about that. The trigger links, what you want to do is go to the marketing tab, and you want to go to trigger links here, and then click here to create a new link. Okay, so we're going to call this thank you. Thank you for registering. And here is where we want to paste our link, okay? So we're going to click save. Now you'll see here that I have a new trigger link, and what it's done is basically created like a really funky code that I can add to, and you see here, trigger links allow you to put links inside of SMS and emails, which allow you to track specific customer actions and trigger events based on when the link is clicked. So now that we have created our trigger link, we want to go to the automations. Let's go ahead and look for our webinar confirmation here, or recipe rather. And now we have our trigger link created, so let's go ahead and choose that. So we're going to click here, and we're going to add our trigger link. So you can see, thank you for registering. We already have it there. And we also have our registration form, which is going to be webinar registration. Okay, so now what's going to happen is we're going to add that trigger link into an email to send to people, and when they click the button, you know, we're going to say, oh, this is an amazing webinar, click the button to register. This trigger link, when they click that button, it's going to automatically add them to this workflow. So they're going to get reminders about our webinar coming up, and you know, whatever we want to build in here. Okay. And also, so that is if we send our list an email, but also if they are, you know, they access our registration page, and fill out the form, it's going to trigger this. So there are two ways to enter into the reminder workflow. I'm going to go ahead and save that there. Now you can see here we want to add a registration tag. You always, I'm a huge advocate of tags. Even if you don't understand why you would want to use them, I always say use them anyway. So we're going to just call this webinar. And if you do several webinars, maybe you want to say, coaching webinar or lead gen webinar or whatever, because if you want to then send retargeting emails to the people who joined the coaching webinar, because maybe you have a new coaching course or a new coaching snapshot or something like that, you'll be able to tell all of the people who registered for that specific webinar. But for the training here, I'm just going to choose webinars and we'll click add a new tag. So I'm going to go ahead and save action. Now we're going to choose our start date. Okay, so when is our webinar going to take place? I mean, right now it's past 2022. So let's go ahead and click here. Let's go to 2023. And let's say that we're going to have this webinar on the 6th of February. Okay, and we can choose our time here. So let's say 1:30 p.m. and we're going to save our action. Let's go ahead and save again. Hopefully that took. Yes, it did. Okay. Now here, we want to send our first confirmation email, okay? So as soon as they click that link or as soon as they register in the form, we're tagging them where the event start date is here, but we also want to send them an email confirmation to let them know, hey, we received your info. Now, you can put your name here. You can put your email here. If you would rather put maybe another email there, or you would rather go to the settings and then put the from, name, and email, these settings here will override any individual settings that you have. Okay, so if you want basically the global, meaning all of the communications and this whole workflow, you can set that there. Okay, so like I said, you can set these individually. You can also have the auto tag here to have their first name. So it's your registered, Bridget. And then also, thanks for registering. And then here is where you want to add your webinar name. And then it'll say, thanks for registering, and then pre-fill in their name. And then you'll see here, we'll see you on, and then it's going to insert the webinar date and time, or you can do that actually, and then at this link. All right, so we need a link to send them to, and that is something that I'm going to show you tomorrow. Okay, so we are going to input the information there regarding our webinar. We're sending a confirmation email there, and then we're going to wait 24 hours until the event. Okay, so if you need to choose the wait time, if you wanted to choose a step, you just want to go to wait. Okay, so we're choosing 24 hours before the event. Okay, so that's what we're waiting for. And then we're going to choose 1 day. And then you can, of course, choose any of these sections if you need to. But and then we're going to send another email out an hour before the webinar. Okay, and you can insert text messages and any of these things in here, but this is the basic format. Okay, and then we're going to wait 10 minutes before the event, and then we're going to send another email. Okay, so make sure again that you're pre-filling these emails in with your event information. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click save there. All right, and now we have published our automation. All right, so now that we have the follow-up campaign, all right, we have our website funnel, so they're filling out the form. Now we need to add this trigger link to an email that we're going to send out our list. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my workflows now. I'm going to go to the marketing tab because I'm just going to send one email here. I can go to campaigns. If you already have an email template that you're using, you can go to create campaign, and let's just say that I wanted to send out this email here. And I wanted to add the trigger link to this email because this would be like my registration email to my list saying, oh my gosh, we're doing all this amazing things. If you want to register, click the button. Okay, so inside that button, what you want to do is choose it's already pre-filled in with this, but what you want to do is click here, and then you're going to go to trigger links, and then you're going to choose the trigger link, thank you for registering. Okay, so once you have chosen that, you can send this email out, and you can choose save and send. You can schedule it. You can send now. Choose your subject and your recipient and so on. Okay, so it's the same basic process. All right, so that is how you're going to create a webinar funnel and a registration page, and also send the registration to your existing list. Okay, so like I said, tomorrow what I'm going to show you how to do is create a webinar page like this, where you actually have the video embedded and the live chat. So you can see that Janai is here, Maria and Ken and Philip and Ray and Terry. Thank you all so much for joining me. So that is really all that I had for you today. I will see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye. Before you go, if you have questions, join us for open office hours starting right now at bridgetbartlett.com. See you there.